Hey y'all, welcome to What's Good, Live and Unfiltered. We are here today with Angela Yu from Grand Cathedral. So Angela, thank you for having us over.
Hi guys,
Hi, guys.
welcome to my home.
Thank you. So exciting to be here. We are in the beautiful Tampa. So Angela, this is an amazing place. Tell us what the concept is in creating this beautiful destination.
So most of you guys know we have a store in San Diego. That's my home store, Lord Pop for Cigars. And we've always wanted to leave California just because it's not, the most preferred place, I guess, to own a cigar lounge. Just because it's not very cigar friendly, it's not smoke friendly, politics, whatever. So we've always tried to go to more of a cigar friendly state, a smoke friendly state, and that's either Florida, Arizona, Pennsylvania, or Texas. And I always told my partner Nathan, wherever we go, we have to enjoy where we live. So Florida is the most comparable, and it reminds me of home. The skies are beautiful, everything is outside, and everyone loves to be outdoors. So we decided to come here. We are a multi-level lounge, so we are open to the public, and we are also a membership lounge. So the entire upstairs is private and it's for our members. Downstairs is open to the public, and we've been here since January.
And it is a beautiful place, you guys. And if you haven't had a chance to come and visit, please do. So tell us, how many members do you have, Angela?
We have 98 lockers, but some of our membership is corporate, so our corporate lockers have 4 additional members. So lockers, we have 98. Members, probably around 150 or something.
Wow. So, okay. So this building, this church is absolutely beautiful. How did you find this property?
I just went on LoopNet one day and I Googled
where?
LoopNet.
Okay.
So LoopNet is a website that you can use to find commercial real estate. And my partner Nathan, he said, why don't you look up 33602, which is the zip code that we're in. And the building popped up. We got on a plane the next week and signed the lease. So I always say the stars aligned.
And it definitely has aligned here because this is an amazing place.
Thank you.
So, tell us, who is Angela Yu? You moved your life all the way from California, and you ended up here in Tampa.
I just love cigars. Cigars is my life. This is all I've ever known. I've been working with cigars since I was 18. So I'm 30 now. That's 33% of my lifetime. And I just love what I do. So, and this store is really like my home to me. So when people come, it's not like, oh, we're going to a cigar shop, or oh, we're going to go to a store, or oh, we're going to a lounge. It's like, hey, you guys are in my house, and this is my backyard, and that's my living room and stuff. So it's really my home here.
So quickly, start us off. When did you fall in love with cigars? How did that whole life start?
Well, I started smoking cigars when I was 18.
Okay.
So there was a cigar shop called Cuban Cigar Factory in San Diego downtown, and it was the only place I could go to underage because they were also a coffee shop and not just a bar. And downtown Gaslamp, everything is a bar, so it's really hard. I was 18, I couldn't go anywhere. So I figured I could stay in the cigar shop, hang out there, and meet people who would eventually, take me out to other places. And I was there so long that the owner, who's my partner Nathan's brother, he passed away. He said, well, you're here every day, so why don't you start working with us part-time? And I started working with them, and 12 years later, now I have my store here.
Wow. So they just kind of took you under their wing and just taught you so much about
Well, I was like wallpaper. I was there every single day. So
there's nothing about you that's wallpaper. Nothing.
No, I was there every
Maybe
day.
wild.
So they were like, well, why don't you work here, and make some money, all the customers and stuff. And they were looking for some help. So I started working there part-time as a server. And then I just stayed with them ever since.
Wow.
So.
And you have a really interesting story about the Bahamas. Tell us a little bit about that real quick.
So my partner Nathan had the opportunity to buy a farm in the Bahamas, and he said, you can either stay here and run my bar in San Diego, or you can move to the Bahamas and come work with me out there. And I think I was like, I don't know, maybe like 21 or 22. I don't even remember how old I was. But you don't get an opportunity like that every day to just pick up and go to the Bahamas. You know, people dream to go on vacation there, let alone live there. So I packed up my bags in about 2 weeks. And then in like a month, I moved down there and lived there. And we were farming tobacco.
You are so adventurous.
It's fun.
Farming tobacco.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to ask what kind of farm it was.
Yeah, it was a citrus farm, and then we converted it over to a tobacco farm.
Do you guys still have that?
No, we moved back to the U.S., so.
Okay, so it's not, you just sold it then.
Yeah,
you
we
don't
sold
run it from
it,
afar or
no.
anything like that. Okay.
But we would like to dig a little bit deeper and get to know Angela, her opinions. She's very opinionated, by the way, if you guys didn't know. But let's get into a little bit about what your thoughts.
I'm not opinionated. I'm just, I don't sugarcoat things.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Huh.
So, what is your favorite part of the cigar industry?
Probably the people. And I know that's like such a cliche response, but you can buy a cigar and smoke at home whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
But people go to the lounge for the people and for the atmosphere and whatnot. So I really like the whole romanticized view of it. You know, the culture, the guys in the dapper outfits. You know, it's just so classy and.
You are a romantic, huh? With an
Maybe.
old soul.
With an old soul, yeah.
Angela, is it
I met like
appropriate-
all my friends through the cigar world. I don't have friends that don't
Right.
smoke cigars. I don't think I could be friends with someone who doesn't smoke cigars, because what would we do all day?
Right.
I don't know what I would do with them.
Hey,
There's-
is it
there's times I
appropriate?
feel like that.
Is it appropriate to ask you your age, because you're like such an old soul to
I'm
me.
30. I'll be 31 next year.
30. But she
30.
makes references to Doris Day.
Engelbert
Humperdinck.
Humperdinck. I'm gonna go see him in concert
Oh my God.
in February. So I bought tickets already.
He's still singing. Does he
swear.
remember the words to his songs?
Absolutely.
I
and he's
forget
so
how
sexy
old
when he
she
sings
is, or how
too.
young she is.
Oh my God.
He's sexy when he sings. He has this like crushed red velvet shirt and his little chest hair sticking out.
Oh my
and
God.
He's so cute.
Not the chest hairs.
He's so
The
cute.
chesticles.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay,
I'm gonna start
so
clapping.
what are your thoughts about cigar influencers?
How do I say this?
Any way you
Take
want.
your time.
Okay, let me think about how I'm going to say this. I
Are
think
there
cigar
levels
influence. Okay,
to
I think
cigar
cigar
influencers?
influencers are great because it grows the industry, and it's an industry that I love. So the more people who smoke cigars, the better. But I appreciate people, influencers, whatever you want to call it, male or female, who treat it like a job rather than a hobby. And who are professional about it. There are a ton of influencers that I follow online. You know, Smokini is one of them. She's on the East Coast of Florida, and I really appreciate her because not only is she a cigar enthusiast and it's, you know, one of her hobbies, but she's so professional in what she does, and she continuously like educates consumers and herself about cigars. So I appreciate influencers who take the time to actually learn about the industry rather than just getting in front of a camera, you know, taking some pictures and yeah. That's what I have to
I
say.
like that.
So
I
there's
like that.
levels to influencer for you.
Yeah, because I feel like in today's day and age, like anyone who has a camera is automatically a vlogger or a blogger or an influencer.
That's right.
But it takes work and it takes production and it takes effort. It's not just about let me take a picture.
Right.
You know, there's thought process behind it. You should educate yourself. You should educate the consumer. You should learn about what you're talking about rather than just taking pictures. So the people who take that extra effort and learning more about the industry and the culture, those are the people that I appreciate.
Right. And we call that passion, ladies and gentlemen. It's passion.
It is a
about
passion.
the culture.
Well, and it's a lifestyle, right? Because it's not just I sit at home and smoke cigars. And for every, I feel like, industry expert, right? Whether we're talking about the families that own brands, whether we're talking to Carlito, whether it's
Right.
you, there's always somebody that knows something more about something.
Right.
It's a constantly evolving industry.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm an expert. There's always something more to learn.
Right.
You know, because it's the science of tobacco, it's the rolling, it's the flavor combos, it's everything.
And we learn something new every time. Every time we speak to someone, every time we do an interview, every time we are just talking to anyone. Like, I feel like we learn a little bit more about, this culture. So
Definitely. So with the cigar industry, what's been the hardest part about being a female, shop owner, running lunch, just in terms of your experience, like in terms of...
I think the hardest is that people always use the female card as a scapegoat, right? Like, I don't think I'm a female cigar shop owner. I think I'm a cigar shop owner and I happen to be a female. And people always put the gender first when the gender doesn't really matter. Whether you're a male shop owner, a female shop owner, who gives a shit? You're a shop owner.
Right.
And
you own a business.
And I think that should take precedence. But I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, well, maybe they have certain accounts because she's a female. It's always, oh, the girl or the female. Like, why? I don't know why people have to focus on that. It should just be, hey, she runs a store and she happens to be a female that smokes cigars.
Right. I wish we would have had her on our
I don't know if that makes
Sisters
sense. Does that make sense?
It does. I wish we would have had her on our Sisters of the Leaf episode with the other shop owners, because one of the things that we were talking about that they kind of realized, you hear about everybody that wants to open up a lounge, right? Some people just talk about it forever and it's in their mind. The perfect lounge is in their mind. But the difference that we've seen, that we were talking about between men and women, it's like men are like, I will build it and they will come. Women have the whole plan. Like, the women that have opened them have been wildly successful. It may have been fast growing, it may have been slow growing, but they've got the plan. Where it seems like the men, like, they put their money in, they build this great place, and then they're like, all right, are my friends going to come? And then their friends get free cigars, and they're like, wait, but I need to make money too.
Well, and that's another thing. Like, there's cigar stores, like a cigar shop is fun. The industry is great. I love smoking cigars. I love my cigar smoking friends. But in order to buy cigars, we still have to make money, and it needs to be run like a business, and it's not just a hobby. And I think, and the cigar industry really does that to you sometimes, because it is a relaxing and fun environment. So then I think people forget, well,
that you have a business to
it is a
run.
business first, and then it is fun afterwards. Because if it's just fun, then you can't
pay bills.
You gotta pay bills. You gotta, continue supporting the store and, keep the lights on and stuff.
You could just operate as a 501c3.
Yeah, right? We could.
So tell us, Angela, what are some of the challenges that you have faced in creating this beautiful environment?
This particular store, I think the hardest thing was that we're just not from here. And we've been very, very lucky and blessed that we've had so much support along the way here locally. Because it's hard. I mean, we moved from California to Florida. It's not like we're moving 30 minutes away, or it's not like we're moving an hour away. We moved from the two farthest points of the country, West Coast to East Coast. So
Didn't have a reputation down here.
Well, it was hard to find resources. Like in California, if someone breaks down, I have a plumber, I have an electrician, I have a carpenter, I have someone for every
You had your network.
trade. Yeah. Here, I didn't have anyone, and it was, okay, well, let me go on Google. And you had to call 20 people to find one semi-decent person, And it was a lot of trial and error. So probably just finding resources was hard here.
Do you feel like you're comfortable now? Are you settled in? Do you
yeah.
know Tampa?
I love this town.
Yeah.
And it's a really great city that has so much to offer. And the people here are wonderful. And I swear, I didn't get paid to say this. The people here are great. The local law enforcement and the local city employees, they're all very supportive and welcoming of new businesses coming in, and they're very supportive of brick and mortar, which that's our livelihood. And the neighborhoods here are great. On any given day, you'll have our neighbors walking their dogs that come here, or they'll take a bicycle and ride over here. So they're very supportive.
And you found a lot of eating places, because let me tell you guys, Angela used to call me crying.
I would cry.
Crying in the middle of the damn night, right? She's crying
always
because
awake.
she can't find tacos.
I can't
so
find
tell
food.
us about like some of the eating places that you found, all these little hole in the wall places.
So Tampa, for anyone who comes to Tampa, you can't Google places to eat here. You gotta
Really?
you gotta hear from the locals.
Got it.
Because if you Google it, they're gonna send you to like the very
The
chain generic kind of stuff, and a lot of the hole in the wall places aren't very big, so you can't find them online. But some of the local spots I like to go to, Old Heights Bistro, I probably go there once, if not twice a week. You never went. You never took you.
I don't think so.
We'll go
I
this
don't think
weekend.
so, but
It's
you've taken me to a lot of really great places.
yeah, it's like 10 minutes
oh my
from
God.
here, and it's a local spot, not very big, and they serve all kinds of food, American, Asian, and the guy just loves food. Like, I don't even think he does it to make money. Like, he just loves food, and
That's
you
the
can
place.
see it in his dishes. And then I also love Donatello's. Like, that's
That's
my
my
favorite
favorite.
restaurant in Tampa.
I haven't
My
been.
favorite.
I don't even know where I've
It's
been.
such a great place. And Donatello's been around how long?
It's been like 50, 60 years or something.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But
Yeah.
it's like an old school Italian restaurant, but just so classy. You know, the guys are in suits.
Oh, amazing.
Piano bar every night. It's just
It's like old gangsta.
Do you get in
Yeah.
there and play the piano every once in a while?
with liquid encouragement. I do.
She has. I have videos. I have videos of her playing the piano at Donatello's.
Oh my goodness.
In our after hours.
Yeah, we even smoked cigars there one
Yeah.
time
Yeah, they let us smoke cigars.
because we were there so much.
You guys just like closed down every place.
they closed.
We do.
They
We
closed the
closed-
bar, and we just started smoking cigars inside of the restaurant. So
Ragers.
yeah. it
Hey,
was
so I
pretty
have
fun.
this burning question.
which is
Let's talk about the cigar groups. What's your thoughts and feelings about the different cigar groups?
what kind of groups? What do you mean?
Like our cigar groups, Facebook and stuff like that.
Oh, like actual Facebook groups?
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. I think social media is great because it's a platform where people from all walks of life, from all corners of the world, can stay connected with each other.
Right.
So I think it's cool that we have these different platforms to talk about, what we love, which is cigars.
That's good.
There are a lot of them out there.
There's so many.
So sometimes it gets like kind of diluted down because
Right.
there's so many of them. But I enjoy the platform, but you gotta, at least I did. I had to learn how to detach myself from it.
Right.
So
Because it
I had
gets
to learn.
overwhelming.
Yeah, I had to learn how to turn it on and how to turn it off. Because if not, it consumes you.
Right, right.
And like, look how beautiful the world is. Look how beautiful the sky is.
You kind of forget to smell
Yeah.
the roses, to take the time to.
It is because
Take
you
time
can
for
get
yourself.
lost as just a regular everyday Angela, right? You can get
Right.
lost in it, but then you're Angela of Grand Cathedral. So
Right.
now it's like if somebody's like, there was a paver loose, the table was
Right.
like all of a sudden you can get lost in the I'm gonna say the celebrity of it, right? Like you're gonna take things to heart, where you just gotta be like you said, shut it off and shut
Yeah.
it down. So it's like you just got to be careful. I have a question about this building because you brought it up and then you just kind of stopped. So when was it that you found it on LoopNet?
Oh my gosh, so like the whole acquisition of this building was a roller coaster. We found this in 2018. When was the first Heritage Festival that you went to? 2018?
2019 was our first one.
2019?
She said her first one was right before the
2019.
pandemic.
But
Are you sure?
But you have already
A
you
year
were already
before
looking at
you.
this
Okay.
building
So
before Heritage Festival.
2018,
Yeah.
we found the building,
Yeah.
and I came out here for the Heritage Festival that
Yeah.
year.
And you were kind of finalizing things.
We were finalizing this building, and then 2019 is when you came out, and then January 2020 is when we got the keys for the building. So it's been a long, process.
So it took 2 years to get the keys to the building.
Yeah, there was a lot. It was a roller coaster.
Okay, so
it was
hold
a
on.
roller coaster.
Okay, so then the other question is, this was like a dilapidated old church, right? When you came across it?
The outside wasn't bad because this building got condemned, I think, in the early 2000s. There was a bunch of homeless people who were squatting inside, and they started a bonfire, and it ended up catching the roof on fire. Everything collapsed. So the building was actually redone in the early 2000s. That's why it wasn't like falling apart
But
when we
it
took it.
stayed vacant?
It was vacant, and then it was a guy bought it and turned it into a commercial insurance agency. So when we took the building, it was a bunch of cubicles. We didn't do anything structurally, but we did all the cosmetic work.
Okay.
Because it was pretty much just drywall inside.
Oh, that's like a ruination for this building. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
we put all the wood that was in there.
Okay. So then my other question is, so you acquired the keys in 2020, like what, right before the pandemic?
Yeah, right when it was starting.
Right before.
And
Yeah.
so you rehabbed the inside and
Yeah.
did everything during the pandemic.
Well, no, it gets even worse than that. So 2020 is when we got the keys, January 6th of 2020. So that's Nathan's birthday. And we drove across country.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, and then we picked up
Happy
the keys
birthday
on his
to you.
birthday. So we were going to start doing construction, but then that was when all the protests started happening. And our store in San Diego is right next to the police station. There were rumors of it getting raided, and our store is right next door to it.
Oh my God.
I
So,
remember.
like, that's our livelihood. We need.
We had to protect it.
So we had to protect that. So we stopped construction. We went back to San Diego, and the protests were going on and off, and
Wait,
it was
what?
literally right in front of our store.
Okay.
We had to go back and take care of that, and then we didn't really start construction here until July
Of 2020.
of 2020. So it took us
Mid-pandemic, yeah.
mid-pandemic.
And now you have to find contractors mid-pandemic.
contractors, but it's not even that. You had to find supplies.
And the licensings. And,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So mid 2020 is when we started, and then January is when we opened.
And she's got a great story. Tell us what your favorite store is, and then it'll.
Home Depot. I love Home Depot. Like I can tell you.
Why?
Yes, we need to know why.
Why Home Depot?
There's so much stuff to do inside Home
Oh my
Depot.
God.
There's so many tools.
you guys
There's
see this?
sawzalls. There's circular saws. There's jigsaws. There's the pneumatic nail gun with
Something tells me you shouldn't have any
I
of
love
these tools
tools.
in your reach.
I love tools.
And she loves
I love
being
Home
like
Depot.
on the machines
Yeah.
and the. Oh my gosh.
Construct, like if I didn't have a cigar store, I would be a contractor, a general contractor. That
Okay.
would build things.
Okay, so we're going to go back to this.
I love construction.
So people have seen before or after
Mm-hmm.
the tour of the Grand Cathedral. We've got the fish. Tell
Mm-hmm.
us what you want to do with your fish.
Oh, she snorted.
I love it.
I want to snorkel in my koi ponds.
Mind you, the koi pond is like 8 inches deep.
I want to snorkel in there because I just want to I want to get a face mask and just stick my head in there and see what the fish see. I want to
And the turtle.
with my fish. I want to
Oh
snorkel.
my god. Well, the reason why I asked about what
People
your
are gonna watch this interview and they'll be like, "Man, that girl's a weirdo."
We're all weird. We're all weird. This
See,
is
but
why
that's
we
what
love
we're-
what's good.
But that's what we're trying to capture is the weirdo part.
We
of
want the
Angela.
real you. We don't want the
Everybody
Vanna White.
sees that other part of Angela, but we know the other side. So, but that's the reason why I asked you about your favorite store, which is Home Depot.
I love Home Depot.
Because there was, when she was building, there was that other challenge. She was going to literally every freaking Home Depot there was. Because
Yeah.
why?
So I had to buy wood, and there was a wood shortage, and the price of
During
lumber went
pandemic.
up. So every morning I go on my Home Depot Pro app, type in the barcode for 1x6x8 tongue and groove. I think it was 16196191964. I used to remember the number.
She knows it like a prison
yeah,
number.
and I would look up and see which stores had tongue and groove, and I would go with the truck and ratchet straps and go pick up some wood.
Ratchet straps.
Ratchet straps.
And if you guys
Oh,
seen
my
some
God.
of her videos, if you're following Angela, you'll actually see her going to each of the Home Depot and getting wood. And she's made friends at Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Do they give
Shout
you-
out! Wait, hold on, time out. Shout out to Stadium Home Depot. It's number 256 here in Tampa on Del Mabry. Best pro desk ever. Shout out to them.
Did they give you an honorary orange apron?
No, I asked for one. I was like, that's the only thing I want. But they said
Angela.
they protect the orange aprons because if you have an orange apron, you can walk into any Home Depot and
I'm sure
start
you could get one online.
taking stuff. I know, yeah. I love Home Depot.
Hey, tell us a little bit about the acronyms SOTL and BOTL. What are your thoughts about that?
I'm gonna get in trouble if I talk about that.
No,
you
go
won't.
ahead.
You'll do it.
SOTL and BOTL. Okay, so SOTL, everyone knows the sister of the leaf. BOTL, everyone knows his brother of the leaf. I am I don't want to say anti it,
Really?
No, but you have a good story behind
Yeah,
it.
talk to us
and
about
I think I
this,
appreciate
'cause
that.
I don't know the story.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of goes back to your question, like being a female cigar shop owner, right? Like, I don't like the categories or titles SOTL or BOTL because, like, why are we segregating ourselves from each other? Why does it have to be a Sisters of the Leaf movement? You know, why can't we just all smoke cigars together? You know, men and female in a mixed environment.
we're
And
a
then the
lot cuter
whole
when we
thing,
do it.
but the whole thing is like everyone's trying to promote unity, and you know we're a big cigar family. So why make that line and say, "Oh, we are
Right.
the Sisters of the Leaf, and they are the Brothers of the Leaf"? Why can't we just be the family of the Leaf?
There you go.
You know,
Family
like-
of the Leaf.
Bottle.
Yeah.
Family of the
So
Leaf.
I'm more of a fan of that.
But see, you know, Sisters
like
of the
that.
Leaf, we like bling and rhinestones sometimes. I don't really see a lot of Brothers of the Leaf with rhinestones on their
Yeah,
stuff.
that's true. Yeah.
Brother of the Leaf and pink rhinestones, not quite gonna work.
Like I'm for everyone of the Leaf. You know,
Right,
I think the
right.
more people that smoke cigars, the better. And you know, taking down those borders and dividing the different groups. You know, I'm more
Yeah,
for
let's-
everyone together. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
It
that
does. It
absolutely
makes
makes
sense.
sense. And I actually like it because, look, I'm a fan of Sisters of the Leaf, of course, and Brothers of the Leaf, but I do like Family of the Leaf.
But it's how we are. We don't like our groups are diverse. You know, the group that you
Right.
run is diverse. Group I run is diverse. Your shop is diverse. We don't. We try not to separate.
But I
and
think
segregate.
for me also is because like I'm not one of like I don't want to say I'm not a feminine female,
Yeah.
but I don't
She doesn't do
like
girly
to
things.
do girly kind of things.
Oh, but we have scarves and such, and we like dresses.
I like scarves. I like dresses, but I like to get my hands dirty and yeah, so
I'm a
I
li-
feel like
I'm a
if you
little
limit-
prissy. You're not prissy.
well, I feel like with like the Sister of the Leaf groups, like if I were to go out with them, like I don't know what we would talk about.
You talk about cigars.
Talk about cigars,
Everything
yeah.
because and that's
Talk
the
about
thing.
cigars.
The women are just
It's hard for me to relate because there's a lot of I don't have a lot of similar interests with a lot of females, I guess.
I
that
think
sound
You can teach them a lot.
I think you haven't
I
found
think-
your tribe because like when I get to
That's
know
why
people,
I'm a loner and I just hang out with my animals.
and this is why you're what? This
I'm
is why
a
your spirit
loner.
animal. This is wait. This is why your spirit animal is what?
I'm a honey badger
And why are you a honey badger?
because I just don't care.
I do believe her exact words where she doesn't want to curse word because I don't give a fuck.
I don't care.
I didn't even know what a honey badger was.
I
Yeah,
didn't
I'm a
either.
honey badger.
Well, I come from the badger state, so I kind of knew what a honey badger was, but I was
don't
like,
even know
who
what animal.
picks that animal? People are like lions and tigers and bears.
No,
oh my!
I'm a
She's
honey
like,
badger.
honey badger.
So you also have a love for animals.
I love animals.
All animals?
All animals.
Wait a minute. So we did a tour here. We didn't go up into the secret space, but I heard
I got a tortoise upstairs too.
it's
There's
a
a
tortoise.
tortoise. I
Like
have
it's
a
going to get
tortoise.
huge.
No, it's one of the like micro tortoises. Well, it's not a micro tortoise, but it's not
It's
one of
gonna
those.
get big.
It's not like a Salcutta tortoise. It's one of
Isn't it?
those. I think his maximum size is like 8 to 10 inches.
Okay. Okay.
So a year from now, when we come back and that damn tortoise is like this big,
He's going to look like the ones on the beach.
we're
Yeah.
He's going to
We'll
be
give
waddling. He's
tortoise
going to be
rides
waddling.
here.
He's going to be waddling.
Cynthia has the other one.
He's going to
We'll
be
give
waddling
tortoise
through the
rides.
koi pond. Oh, the koi pond. Tell us the names of some of the fish.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a Nipper in there. I have a Jamie in there. I have a Tommy in there. What else do I have? I have a ton. I probably have like 60 fish. In
She's
there.
there. Yeah, there's
60
like
or
there's
70.
close
Oh,
to-
my turtles are Matthew, Mark, and Luke.
Oh my gosh.
Matthew, Mark, Luke. I just
We need
gotta
more
get
disciples?
I need a fourth turtle for John, but
Oh my
so far I have
gosh.
Matthew,
Oh
Mark.
my
So
gosh.
she'll get more turtles, y'all.
There's 3 turtles in there. We didn't see not a one, but you said they'll come out with the sun.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
now
So
the
we'll go
sun's
see 'em.
there, so they're probably gonna be sunbathing soon.
Oh my god.
And what's the one upstairs? What's that?
That
name?
one's Herman.
Herman.
Why has Herman got a whole separate name?
He's different.
Well, you mean like why is he upstairs?
Well, why is he upstairs?
because
Yes.
he's a tortoise, so
He's
he's
not-
a land.
Yeah.
He's a land animal.
That's the difference between tortoises and turtles.
Yeah, turtle. They're water. And
I don't know. I'm a dog person.
Oh my God.
He's a land animal, so he can't go
Education
go
on
drown.
turtles and tortoise.
It's cigar adjacent. Okay, and then so why is his name Herman and not Matthew, Mark, Paul, John, Luke, whatever?
I think it's a pet store named it Herman, and I liked it. I like that name.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
And you also gave one to Cynthia, right? Or oh no, Carlito.
Carlita bought one for
Gifted.
Cynthia, yeah, for her birthday. I just delivered it. And Cynthia's tortoise is Donatella.
That's right.
Donatella.
That's
Yes.
right. Oh my
I
God.
love that.
We heard about Donatella a few weeks ago. We didn't meet Donatella though. We just met the
So
other dog.
Donatella and Herman are friends. They're buddies.
Do they date?
No. No, they haven't developed that part of the relationship yet.
So you have Lord Puffer in San Diego?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not a California girl, so I had to try to remember where it was. And then we moved clear across the country
Yes.
to the other coast.
Tampa.
Almost the furthest place you can go besides like Seattle,
to
Miami.
get away from
Yeah.
California.
Right, except for the diagonal across the country. So what's next for the Lord Puffer Grand Cathedral family? Is there another location in mind? Are we going to be like, let's go to New York? Are we going to be like, let's go to Alabama? What's kind of the thought process?
I think we're pretty at least for me, I'm very tied down right now to the store just because,
This is the one thing that might keep you from moving again?
well, there's so much more I could do to grow this store.
Okay.
And I don't believe in just doing things, I guess, half-ass,
We swear, it's okay.
We're not even finished with year one yet, and I still feel there's a lot of room to grow. There's a lot more to build. There's a lot more to expand. There's a lot more to decorate. So there's more events I can throw here, and this store probably has. I'm not going to stop, but I would like to
Got your
keep on
attention.
working on it a little bit more, and then also being here in Florida, since it's not where we're from, we don't have as many resources, like I said earlier. So it's hard to just open another store because we don't have the staff. There's a labor shortage right now, and we are very owner. How do you say this?
Hands-on.
We're hands-on owners. I love being. I'm here every single day. And even if I didn't get paid, I would still be here every single day.
Gotcha.
So I don't believe in opening stores and not being there, because for me, it's a very personal thing.
I agree.
I want to be there with the customers. I want to be there with our staff. I don't want to just, make a list of things for the staff to do and say, hey, I'll be back in a month or something like that.
Right.
We're very hands-on with it. So
And you like
I
to
have
get
my
to know
hands,
your
yeah,
customers.
because they're family.
Right.
These are the people that we see every single day, and these are customers that I've
Support.
known some of them for 12 years. So they're not just customers; they're really family.
Absolutely.
So I have my hands full here for a while. But if I were to do another one, it would be in a fire station.
Oh, that would be dope.
I've always wanted a fire station.
Why?
I think it looks cool.
I've always wanted. When I've seen people for whatever reason they choose to rehab fire stations, I think it's amazing. Whether it's a home,
Yeah.
a business, etc. Regarding what you were saying about the shop feeling like it's a home for you, that's always been my favorite shops. Right, where you feel like you're in the owner's living room, rec room, smoking room, whatever it may be, because that personality infuses into a lounge. And I think the ones that are hands off, they don't have the personality. Your personality relies on your most outgoing, vivacious, whatever you want to say, staff
absolutely.
member.
Yeah.
And it becomes it takes on that spirit, and that's not one you can always, I say, control.
Right.
Now, talking about the inside and talking about your hands-onness, the decor.
Yeah.
So, where did all these antiques
Gosh, I
come
got
from? There's
so
things
much
that
stuff
I see
everywhere.
water spigots, I see
Yeah.
old sewing machines, tables.
Well, I like old vintage stuff because I think things were just made better back then.
Okay.
Now everything is compressed wood. It's all, IKEA, a million parts go into it. But
Oh my God,
the
directions you can't
old,
understand.
if you look at old furniture and old decoration, that's when it was made with love. It was hands-on craftsmanship, and it's stuff that's made to last. So I really appreciate, I guess, things that were made a long time ago because they were just made with so much more love and attention to detail. So this store, I've been collecting decorations for this store maybe a year before we even opened.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff came from San Diego. I would just go to thrift stores and
just slowly ship stuff this way.
well, we had pretty much a container, and I just started loading the container with decorations. And when it came time to opening, we shipped the container over here, and it was just filled with all the decorations.
And for folks that are not in Tampa, if you're coming to Tampa, if you're coming to Ybor City, you need to come to the Grand Cathedral because there's so many nooks and crannies. And
Nooks and crannies, that's appropriate
yes,
word. There's so many
it's like having a
corridors.
Victorian house versus a beautiful new home, right? New construction home. It's so natural. But then the way she's decorated the nooks and crannies, you could come here day in, day out for probably months and sit in a different seat, notice something completely different. A couple things that I noticed I want to ask about is the pictures.
Yeah.
The pictures and
I have
these
a lot of
picture
pictures.
frames.
I have a ton.
How did that come about? Because I saw somebody's picture in there, Arlene.
Yeah, so I have all different kinds of pictures in here. A lot of customers, they even bring their own pictures.
I love
and we
it.
just put them on the wall because they're here every day. Why not, you know?
And people love to see themselves. We do. I do.
Yeah. But,
I do.
But
This we know.
Carlito, he always says, like, you have to preserve history and you have to keep on telling the story or else it's going to get lost, you know? And I think pictures do that.
Me too.
Because when we're all gone and we're not here anymore, those pictures bring back memories of, you know, a birthday or the time that you had a child or like significant moments in life. And I think pictures are a way to preserve that.
Right.
So because
And tell the story, because that's so much what cigars are. You know, there's so much rich history behind it. It's not this mass-produced object. It's all made by hand, and it all started with all these, you know, privately owned cigar families, and it was their tradition and their family heritage. So to have these pictures on the wall, I think it preserves it.
So you've got the pictures and the koi pond. So when folks walk around the koi pond, what are they going to see? You're talking about history and a story.
So
Talk about that.
Around the entire koi pond is pretty much like the timeline of Arturo Fuente Cigar Company from when it started in 1912 until pretty much now.
Right.
So it's a chronological timeline, and it's significant dates within the company. You know, when they moved to the Dominican Republic, when Carlito was born, all that kind of stuff. So it's their company timeline.
If you don't know about the Fuente family, the Fuente history, all you have to do is take a walk around the koi pond,
right.
and you can learn it. Now back to the decor, because the one thing that seems odd, but it still kind of fits in, the animals. The moose head and the where did those come from?
So
and how?
the animals is actually a funny story. The animals were donated by a very dear family to me because they've kind of like adopted me since I've moved here to Tampa, and that's the Oliva family of Oliva Tobacco Company, not Oliva Cigars, because they often get confused.
Yes.
So Oliva
Got
Tobacco
it.
Company, they're pretty much like the growers and the farmers of tobacco, and then they supply a lot of cigar companies and cigar manufacturers with the raw tobacco leaves. And they're a big hunting family. And when we opened, people usually bring like wine or flowers as like a housewarming gift.
Right.
They brought us a bunch of dead animals, which I think is so cool. And
It's so suitable to a cigar lounge.
yeah,
And it's so Tampa.
and it's so Tampa. It's a piece of the Oliva family inside of our store. So.
And coming from up north, I don't have a full understanding. Why is it so Tampa? Because I heard hunting is big down here, and I would have never thought that.
It is. Hunting's big down here. A lot of people do it recreationally. You know, there's a lot of farmland. Tampa is a city, but if you go outside, like, 40 minutes, you're in farmland. So there's a lot of hunting enthusiasts out here.
And I would have never guessed that about Tampa.
And it's the gunshine state, so.
Because up north, it's land of hunt, fish, camp.
Right.
And for some reason, I just felt like we owned that.
So Angela, we have asked you so many questions, and we've talked about so many different aspects of the cigar industry, of Grand Cathedral, just this whole industry. So Casey has one last question to ask you.
I'm afraid.
You mentioned being a honey badger and not giving a fuck. But we've talked about the growing influence, obviously, influencers, social media groups. Give me your, detailed opinion, because a lot of times what we see online is so much bullying. For example, when a novice smoker has not checked the records of a social media group, one of my friends was going to bring me back these Cubans from Jamaica, and people are like, "Oh my God!" It's like they just run them, they drag them.
Right.
Some of the women who actually are very knowledgeable, right? But because she's pretty, it's people want to think, "Oh, she's just a model."
Right.
So to me, that's all bullying. I just don't subscribe
There's so many
to it.
forms.
And
So many forms.
give us your thoughts. We all know bullying is bad.
Right.
But give us your thoughts on all of this, like people dragging people. Like,
I think so. Social media, like I said, is a great tool. It's a great tool to grow your business, and it's a great tool to stay connected with people from all corners of the world. Like since I've moved here, I've used social media to stay in contact with Arlene, who's my best friend. You know, and it's through this digital age that we've been able to stay connected.
I'm
But
her
at
new
the
bestie.
same
She doesn't know it yet,
time- yeah, right? At the same time, though, I feel like social media has developed a lot of like keyboard ninja warriors, and it's like, you know, like a lot of stuff that's
like
said
that.
That would
online.
almost
Wait, say that again.
Keyboard warriors.
The keyboard ninja
warriors.
And only she can say that. And not be a damn racist.
Because, like, half the stuff that's said online, if you said that in real life, you get smacked.
Oh my God,
You
yeah.
know? And because that everyone's sitting on this computer now, you know, they can say whatever they
Everyone's
want
tough.
because they're behind this screen. You know, if you say that stuff in real life, you'll get smacked.
Right.
You know, in
Because I
some
call them
place-
keyboard thugs.
Yeah. So for me, the hardest was when we first opened Lord Puffer. Now it's not so bad because I think I've grown like a thicker skin to it.
She has.
But when we first opened Lord Puffer, it was bad. Like I would cry every day about it. Because these people who I've never even met before in my entire life, who have kids that are older than me, you know, the things that they would say. I've had people Photoshop my picture, and, you know, I've had people tell me I should get shot in the head like Osama bin Laden. I've had people, oh yeah, I mean, they've, you know, said things, oh, Angela's store is called Lord Puffer because of puffing reasons, you know, and I've had people put a bounty on my head on cigar forums. Whoever can insult Angela 1,000 times gets a free box of cigars. So the disappointing part is, like, cigars are supposed to be family, you know, and how can someone get so angry over this? And so protective over this. And the sickening part is, you know, some of these people who have children who are older than me. And I think social media has given people the ability to do that and it be okay. So
And
that's the off-putting part about social media, and I have had to learn to disconnect myself from it, and I've had to learn how to turn it off, because if not, it really does get to your head, you know, and it really does bother you. So now, fast forward 2 years later, you know, Lord Puffer's been open for almost 3 years. Grand Cathedral's been open for almost 1 year. I've learned to have kind of like a tortoise shell. And
So you
have
turned
thicker-
into the honey badger. You didn't start as a honey badger.
Well,
in the
now I just
industry.
I don't look at it, and I don't, you know, pay attention to it, and it just goes above my head.
It's that
but it
snooze
was
button.
hard. Yeah,
That snooze button.
I have my thing on snooze, but it was hard. You know, in the first year, I would cry every day.
Yeah.
You know, I would call Carlito crying, and I still have screenshots of these things that were said, and it's funny because I'll
The
go.
naysayers.
Yeah, and I'll go to places now and I'll see the people who have said stuff about me,
That you weren't going to last.
you
or
know,
whatever.
and I would never say anything to them, but I think it's just sickening. Is what
It
it
is.
is. It's sickening,
I think
It is. It's disappointing because that's
and it's
not,
just because we just like to smoke cigars.
Right.
Like, who cares? You know, the world shouldn't be that hard, and it shouldn't be that difficult.
right.
Well,
It shouldn't be disappointing.
Yeah, and on a positive note, we had a, I guess, off-camera discussion. When you think of Grand Cathedral, right? It's like when I've seen the pictures before coming here, it seemed very formal, highfalutin. You
No,
know?
not at all.
Well, right. And so, just tell me, I'm gonna say about your customers, because one of my
Right.
favorite things about a cigar lounge is the police chief, the mayor, a dignitary,
Right.
could be sitting here, and right here is like the sanitation worker, and they're like, "What are you smoking?" Oh,
Well,
I
think
gotta
that's
try
what
that.
cigars are so cool. You know, it's a thing that we all have in common, but it brings all different people from all walks of life together. And the cool thing about cigars is you don't go to a restaurant and you just start talking to the table next to you. Like, that would be weird. But at a cigar shop, you can go in as a single person, sit down next to some random guy or random girl, and just pick up a conversation with them. And it could be a mayor or it could be a janitor. You know, you never know who you're going to sit next to. But cigars really bring people together. And here in particular, like, we get all kinds of people. You can walk in a 3-piece suit and, you know, we'll love you with open arms. Or you can walk in after a day on the golf course and you're sweaty and it's okay.
Right.
Or, you know, you could have just been driving a dump truck or a semi across country, you know. We have a nice diverse group of people.
And I think that is probably like what can sum it up is cigars are like the great equalizer.
Yeah.
Because what I've compared it to, again, Milwaukee, we have Harley Davidson. The Harley riders, one thing that they always say, they're like, it's about the ride. It's not
Right.
about the bike, it's about the ride and the journey. So if you've got a different brand of a bike, they don't care. I feel like cigars are like that because nobody really cares what you're smoking.
No, this is what
You're
brings people
there
together.
enjoying
It's our
the
common
smoke.
denominator.
Yep.
It really is. And it really is what has brought us together.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's how we started our friendship.
Right.
You know,
Through
it's
cigars.
just through cigars. So we just wouldn't be here now if, you know, if the cigar didn't bring us together.
Yeah,
So-
we wouldn't know each other. We wouldn't have these other fun
Well,
things
I mean,
to
and
talk
look at
about.
this, the Cigar Heritage Festival, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get hundreds of thousands of people from all across
All
the
walks
world
of life.
meeting at a park in
Everywhere.
Ybor because of this.
Just
right?
because.
And it's all different kinds of people, all from, you know, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different age groups, different genders, and we all come here to Ybor because of
Right.
this.
So, since we spoke about, you know, social media, it has its good and its bad, its ups and downs. It really is the good, the bad, the ugly,
Right.
right? Through all that, Angela, through all of that, has your love for the cigars, is it still the same? Are you still passionate about it? Like, tell us how you feel.
I still love cigars, and I will always love cigars because it's a huge part of my life. I love this industry, and I'm going to die in this industry. But
Ride or die.
what it
She's a
has
rider.
taught me is about people, and it has nothing to do with cigars. You know, like I love this industry. I'll always love this industry. But social media and like throughout my years of opening this store, Lord Puffer, and you know working in the cigar industry, I've learned a lot about people,
Right.
and
And it
Yeah.
really has made you that much stronger. Mm-hmm. You know, we've had a lot of therapy sessions together.
yeah, Arlene's my therapist.
Arlene is
We've laughed
host.
and cried
Arlene
together.
is host
Arlene's
of
my-
1 a.m.
But
therapy
look,
sessions.
Arlene's my therapist.
Look, growing up in the ghetto, you guys, like, I had to learn how to be tough. So it's the same thing. We just, that's what we talked about.
Right.
You know, I think throughout our friendship is you just got to let it go.
Yeah.
You just got to let it go.
Okay, Elsa. Let it
T-
go.
t- wait. Tell the world what
I
I
have no
taught
clue what she
you.
was about to say
What
right
I
now.
taught you.
Look
how
at
to
what I
s-
taught
What
you.
I taught you how to say it.
Oh, Arlene's taught me to wake up in the morning and say, I don't give a bleep.
But say it with passion. I taught her how to say that.
I don't give a bleep.
So she's not going to cuss. So Arlene's
I don't give a
thing,
bleep.
Arlene's thing to everybody is you have to learn to say, I don't give a fuck.
Right. And you have to say it with meaning.
With heart.
Like with
Say
heart.
it with your chest.
Like you mean it. You get up and you just say, I don't give a fuck.
We don't give a fuck.
I don't care, but I'm going to say, I don't give a bleep. That's what I'm going to
She
end
does
it.
it the nice way.
I don't give a bleep.
But when
Off
she's
camera.
mad, she says it.
I go into honey badger mode.
I'm going to start sending you like pictures of honey badgers or little stuffed honey
Well,
badger.
you
or
can't
something.
care because if you care, it'll really like bite inside of you. You know, you got to just really let it go because if you care, and that's
You
my
can
problem.
care.
That's
You
my
can
problem
care.
because
You
I
just-
care a lot,
yeah.
and I have to learn not to care
You-
because
you
if
have to.
if you don't, then it just eats you up inside. So that's what I've learned.
Well, we have really enjoyed speaking to you, and we just thank you so much for
Thank you guys for
just
coming.
giving
For the
us this
hospitality.
time, giving us this exclusive.
I think it's so cool.
Because the
Because it's,
store
like,
is
not-
open. The lounge is open right now, and she's taking this time with us.
So usually during this time,
Okay.
we like to close out with a positive note, of course. Like to bring in our EP to give us just some closing
Closing thoughts?
affirmations.
Michael, come hither. Louie, come on, join us.
I'm going to be using that word, affirmations. What's your affirmation today?
Hither.
Come hither.
And we look
like
that.
that.
From the cold weather.
Hey, listen.
We came from Miami.
Look at these folks and look at how they're dressed. And they came from Miami.
They drove from Miami.
And we were
Hell
really.
this morning. We talking about this.
It was cold
We were
and it
late.
was foggy.
Well, you
I've been up since 1 this morning.
when you look
Well,
marvelous.
that's like 6 a.m. for
We
you.
smashed up here in like 3 hours and so many minutes.
But we're here and it's going to be a fabulous weekend.
Angela, you know
Yes.
what? We wanted to say
we
thank
can't
you.
wait.
Thank you for having me. That was a lot of fun.
Yes.
You know,
I'm glad you enjoyed.
What's good? The platform that you experienced today is what it's all about. It is about the BOTOs. It is about the STOs. It is about the Ladies of the Leaf. It's about, like you said, family of the Leaf.
Family of the Leaf.
It is about all of that. So we appreciate all that. I mean, I got this as a gift. I got to give a shout out real quick to my boy and my frat brother, Araya. Araya, I'm so sorry, man. I know you got the Firelands. I couldn't find it.
Was it toothpick?
I had to relight it.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
still,
It's
but
like
you know what?
that
But look,
enough.
but look at, look.
My goodness.
I had the Firelands, babe.
It's still.
Is that the shark?
Oh, you know what? When
That
I
is.
receive a cigar, I never ask what it is because it's a
the
gift.
Fuente Reserva
It's like
Don Carlos.
you give somebody a cigar and they say, "What's
Eye
that?"
of the shark.
And it's like
Eye of the
it's a
shark.
motherfucking cigar.
It's
It's a
so
gift.
good.
Yes.
You know, it's like somebody gives you some food, you eat.
You
But
eat it.
Right.
I
You
really
start
truly
questioning
enjoyed
the
it.
gift.
I
You don't get them anymore.
Yeah.
I'll ask later. Exactly. I'll ask later. You know, I really enjoyed the experience that I had. But in closing, from me, again, you know, if you guys have not been down here, you need to come and see this
Absolutely.
Come visit
beautiful
us.
establishment. You know, we're
Tampa.
down here this weekend for Cigar Heritage Festival. 150 vendors. I'm looking forward to that. I'm
Is that
truly
how
looking
many?
for 150
Because they've
vendors.
made it not just about like the Fuente family or the Newman family. Like
Oh.
everybody is welcome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wait a minute. I went to the restroom. I thought I was in the wrong damn bathroom. They had these pictures of all
got a
these
lot of
women on the
pinup
wall. The
girls
only
in the
picture they had,
bathroom.
J.C. Newman, was one picture. Other than that, it was women.
We have a lot of pinup girls in the
All
bathroom.
I was like,
Okay.
am I in the wrong damn bathroom? But I knew I was in the right one because it was a urinal. I'm like
So
this.
there's
I'm like,
always surprises in here. So even if you're a woman, you might want to knock on the door first, but you need to take a look at the men's restroom.
men's bathroom.
They've got
is beautiful.
amazing
I love the men's
freaking
restroom.
pictures in there.
and if the
fan of
men
the
are in
men's
there for more than a couple of minutes,
You got a problem.
you might have to knock on the door.
Oh my goodness,
I'm just-
that's hilarious.
I'm just saying. But anyway, you know,
You did a great job here.
we
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
We're like
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
Thank
I'm
you
gonna
for
go
this
finish enjoying the rest of this
exclusive.
nut.
This is an exclusive interview,
Yes.
and I'm just so grateful for that.
Yeah, because I heard you really don't sit down and talk to many
No.
people.
Oh, Arlene told you I was antisocial. I'm super antisocial.
That's me.
So, Miss, I love the people is like, I really don't like anybody.
No, I love
No, she
I
loves
love the industry.
everybody.
I'm just, I turn into like a tortoise and I hide in my shell. I get super shy. I'm like, I'm very shy sometimes.
That's Lou.
So.
As Lou stands behind me, you can't see her.
Our next
So now I have a
tortoise
hat
is
on my
going
head.
to be Lou and Angela.
Yes.
Yeah,
Herman's
hide in my
friends,
little
like in their own little spaces.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you for joining
tuning
us
in.
on What's Good.
Guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye, everybody.